Okay, I'm super excited to share this message. It's been on my heart for weeks. And anyway, it's a whole story. But so I'm going to be talking about a hedge of protection and what that means. Because a couple years ago, we went and saw a Christian, it was probably 3 years ago, whatever. We went and saw a Christian comedian, and he was like talking about how his aunt prays a hedge over protection over him. And he was like, thanks, thanks, aunt, this green, plush, bushy thing, around me. That's really going to help a lot, thanks. And I was like, you've gone too far, John Christ. Because, I like a joke, but I'm like, hey, there's a reason God says certain things, right? So, hedges, back in the Old Testament and stuff, when they're talking about hedge of protection, they're talking about low, intertwined, thorny, spiky, and dense bushes that would grow around when needed to be protected and used similar to a fence to keep predators out. So, like, to protect your livestock from wild animals. In Job 1:10, it says, have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? You have blessed the work of his hands so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land. So some versions say a wall of protection or a fence. So years ago, I was watching like Survivor or some survivalist type show, and they had built, well, I don't know if they built it or the producers or somebody, but they built like this hedge of protection around them, and they talked about it as, keeping the predators out, and it was like made of like antlers and thorns and stuff, and it's like God put in my brain, that's what I'm doing when I'm protecting you. And it's almost like, maybe this is going too far, but it was almost like Jesus just took his crown of thorns and just put it right over the thing. And so I'm a very visual person, so when I pray a hedge of protection, and my husband's going to help me here with some visuals, when I used to pray, I'd drop Sarah off and I'd say, Lord, I pray a hedge of protection around her. Well, and I'd picture Rhino from, do you have it, babe? I'd picture Rhino, if you've ever seen the movie Bolt, yeah, he cruises around in his hamster ball, but he's doing awesome things, right? And then I thought, well, maybe that's a little bit too, like, sheltered in. So then I thought even better. I thought Violet from The Incredibles, because her superpower is she can create a protective force around her, and even others in various sizes. So I looked it up, and it says her power is to create a protective force field around herself and even others to deflect heavy oncoming artillery. And I was like, yes, that is exactly what I'm praying. And not even just, of the devil, but words, whatever, to keep those things out. She'll just deflect it all day. It's just like ping, nope. So one day I was thinking, I was reconsidering that thought, and I thought, maybe that's sheltering them too much. And then a few days later, at the exact same time, a guy came on the radio, and he said, we always talk about sheltering our kids as a negative thing. And he was like, when is shelter a bad thing? Well, it might be, but he said, when we shelter our kids, sometimes we need to see sheltering as a good thing. Shelter is protection from the weather, from danger, from something harmful. And I can't remember if it was him or somebody else was talking about sometimes we need a hedge of protection to keep us in and away from danger. And they were referring to Hosea 2:6. It actually says that there was a hedge of thorn bushes to keep her in as protection. It says in Hosea 2:6, therefore I will block her path with thorn bushes. I will wall her in so that she cannot find her way. In Lamentations 3:7, it says, he has hedged me in or walled me in so that I cannot get out. There are times where God will keep us inside the hedge of protection to protect us from things that might harm us, from going places that we shouldn't go, from doing things we shouldn't, protect us from car accidents or whatever. And I have to say, okay, this has been like I said, it's been on my heart for years, but just studying this, you guys, I was getting so pumped up and fired up about how the things of God are so amazing. So if you have time, like I was studying, they were talking about hedge of protections like as a wall, like during warfare, the ways they used to build them up and stuff. But there's also times where hedge of protection is an angel or angels, right? In Psalms 34:7, it says, for the angel of the Lord is a guard. He encamps around or surrounds and defends all who fear him. And Aaron, do you have some pictures of some angels? Or in 2 Kings 6, when Elisha and his servant were surrounded by the Arameans, and Elijah prayed for the servant's eyes to be opened, and he saw there was an army of angels. God is called the Lord of hosts, the God of heavenly armies, God of angels that will go forth and fight for you. So, like Pastor Starlene was saying a few weeks ago, that we are to be on the offense, right? And I just think of this is our offense. This is one of our many things, right? So this is part of just praying. Yep. Did he show both of them? Cool. So anyway, I just want that to encourage you guys. I had so much more. I had to cut it out because I always go over the 5 minutes, but I was just like, I just wanted to share that, and I pray that blesses you.
I was just coming down to church.